Jake and Tevis here with Ticket Price Podcast. Just jumping in to let you know we're on Patreon. We finally did it. It took us longer than we thought. We're not very smart. But if you enjoy the show, check us out. $3 subscription cost. Can't beat that. With it, you're going to get early access to our episodes. You're going to get bonus content, as well as our community forum. Laugh, joke about the show, tell us how bad we are, share your favorite moments, but most importantly, give us recommendations for movies you want to hear us talk about. If we like it, we're going to do your movie. We're going to give you a shout out during the show as a thank you for giving us the idea. Thank you all for listening. Ticket Price Podcast at Patreon. Check us out.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in with us. We are Ticket Price, episode 3. Thank you for jumping in. I am Jake, your co-host, and I will lay down the boogie. Across the way is at Master Control, our technician and giggly co-host Tevis.
I'm like a kid.
And he will play that funky music.
Lay down the boogie.
Lay down the boogie.
No. People are turning it off right now.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, now they are. If you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, you've already turned us off.
I can't believe we made it to 3.
I can't believe I haven't strangled you with that mouse cord.
It's a wireless mouse.
It's the mic
That's
cord.
the mic cord.
Maybe one day we'll upgrade.
Yeah.
Anywho, episode 3. Talk about Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981.
This movie's so good.
Is it?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah, you know what? Yes, we are. All right, screenplay by George Lucas. The fuck? I don't like George Lucas, and there's a reason we're really waiting to rip the Star Wars Band-Aid off. Because I'm not ready for that much hate. I still have parents that dislike me. I can't handle anymore.
I like George Lucas, but only a little bit.
Anyway, screenplay and writing credits, George Lucas, Lawrence Kasdan, and Philip Kaufman. Directed by our man Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford, Karen Allen. Ratings, IMDb gives it 8.4. Which is still pretty on par with everything we've seen so far. But highest ratings yet, Rotten Tomatoes, 93%.
Look at the Rotten Tomato coming out.
And this is number 58 on the IMDb movies.
Oh, the top 250.
Yeah, number 58.
Man, that seems a little low to me.
Maybe.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a list guy, really. I'm more of a long, drawn-out discussion. Which is why I don't understand the colleges won't hire me. That's all they do is long, drawn-out discussions. Budget, about $20 million. Gross, $389.9 million. Jesus Christ.
So it made its money back.
Yeah. Yes, it did. It
okay.
sure did. Wait, checks math. Yeah.
That checks out.
Okay. I did not write all these down because I don't have that much notebook paper.
All the awards?
So 38 award wins with an additional 24 nominations, Academy Awards, everything. This movie was huge. Reviews, goddamn 38 wins, 24 reviewed. Roger Ebert, 4 stars. He described it as an out-of-body experience. A movie of glorious imagination and breakneck speed. Can I be fair here? Roger Ebert needs to calm the hell down. We're talking about Indiana Jones.
He only gave it 4 stars?
He gave it 4 stars. He gave an out-of-body experience 4 stars.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He must be very hard to sexually please. Is that all? Is that it? 2 stars.
I don't know. We'd have to ask Gene Siskel about that.
Wait, is that how he got his name attached? Is that how the show came about?
Yeah. How else? Nobody gave a shit about Gene Siskel. Like, hey, I'll give you a handy if I can be in your show. Kind of like how I got my job.
Peek behind the curtain for our listeners. New York Times called it deliriously funny, ingenious, and stylish. Deliriously funny, ingenious, and stylish.
It's not Dumb and Dumber.
The first movie you think of as deliriously funny is Dumb and... I love Dumb and Dumber.
I do. I love Dumb and Dumber. But I don't think that this is a funny movie. I mean, it has funny moments.
Hey,
but...
New York Times, pump your brakes.
Yeah, it's not... No, I totally disagree with that comment.
And you like this movie.
I do. I like this
Okay.
movie. It's
But-
like I said, it has funny moments.
But, like, damn, guys.
But I'm not, fucking rolling
This-
on the floor.
This is a deliriously funny...
It's not like Kevin
out-of-body-
Hart stand-up.
Well, old Kevin Hart stand-up.
He's the same shtick all over and over again all the time.
Yeah, but in the beginning it was funny.
Yeah,
Now
the
it's
first
old.
time, yeah.
All right. So let's get into what is your history with Raiders.
Okay, before we get into that, I have got to talk about one thing.
I'll allow it. I don't like you stepping on my toes and just undercutting
I know.
my transition.
I found this super interesting. The box office gross for this movie back in 1982, it ran from June 12th, 1981, and it left the theaters in March of 1982. That would never happen today. That is a long run. That is a long, long run.
The only thing I can think about is was it Endgame? And Mobius, of course. Both of those movies got second releases, but those were broken up. That was an additional release, not a continuous run.
Right, and it wasn't Mobius released because nobody was going to the theater because it was COVID?
No one went to see Mobius because it sucks. Then it got re-released because the executives don't understand what a meme is.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone went, yeah, it's Morbid time. And they were like, the kids are finally digging this movie. We'll make our money. And they released it. And for the second time, no one went and saw that movie.
It was a flop in theaters twice.
And then Endgame was like, we're going to beat Avatar.
Yeah.
Which I'm not so sure they did. Or
Uh,
if they did,
I think they did.
Avatar 2 murdered their
Yeah.
face, much like Thanos. Spoilers.
Very much. But the highest grossing movies in the U.S. that year it was released, Raiders of the Lost Ark made $212 at number one.
Yeah.
And
now
number...
That's domestic numbers?
That's domestic.
Okay.
And the second highest grossing movie that year was On Golden Pond.
What's wrong with On Golden Pond?
Oh my God. Suckface. No. Every time. Oh, I would see this movie come on HBO and my mother loved this movie. So I had to constantly listen to Katharine Hepburn. I want a sock face. I'm like, oh my God. No, it's gross. It's gross.
Okay, we're not talking about On Golden
No.
Pond. But you just said something that may have answered your own question as to why this is. Parents took their kids to the theater, dropped them off at Raiders, then bought their own tickets for On Golden Pond. Think about it.
You're not wrong. Yeah, that is very good.
Dad and the kids went to Raiders. Mom and Grandma went to On Golden Pond. Everyone had a good time.
Yeah. And
Sucked face.
God. And I just got to say, the third movie that was the highest was Superman 2. Even Superman couldn't beat the sucking of the face.
That pond is so golden.
That is gross. Anyway.
Can I
Yes,
transition now?
it's your turn, sir.
Oh, thank you. I'm hosting this son of a bitch of a show and on my own transitions. Okay. You know what? Fuck you. We're doing my history of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can talk later. Learn your place. See, the power is going to my head, and I love it. Actually, I have very little history with this movie. I've watched before we rewatched it for this recording. I had seen it one time. I was a child, and I mean like 6, 7, maybe, so roughly 5 to 8, whatever, somewhere in there as a kid. Because my dad loves it. My dad sat on the couch and watched it with me when we watched it for this show. He watched it because he was like, "You're doing Raiders?" And he sat down and watched it with me.
Nice.
So, I watched it one time with him when I was a kid, and I remember absolutely nothing. And there are things that I don't remember, like, the boulder and all that. I just know from being an adult and having some sort of grasp on pop culture.
The iconic parts.
But but before watching this, if you had told me Indy 1, 2, or 3, when does he get chased by the boulder? I remember turning to my dad. I was like, because he was like, you don't remember anything about this movie. I said, no, I think I'm conflating Raiders, Temple, and Crusade. So I'm like, the boulder, is that Temple of Doom? I had those words left because I have no memory of this movie. So I went in, this was really easy for me to come in, open mind, and just watch this movie fresh.
Oh, was it my turn?
I mean, if you have to.
My history?
Yes.
My history?
I mean, if you have to.
Oh.
Wow.
This movie, I want to suck face with this movie. This movie was all over the place when I was younger.
32.
No, what? This came out in 81.
Oh, you were 52.
Yeah, I was 52. Yeah. I'm Benjamin Buttons, apparently. I'm aging backwards.
Oh, no, I just thought you were old as hell. No, I'm sorry. I will still continue.
Thank you. I lost my train of thought.
I hope you know this whole recording, that this whole episode is going to be played by On Golden Pond.
I know.
You've done this.
I have ruined it.
Okay.
I have ruined this. I've been looking so forward to doing this, and then I ruined the whole thing because of my stupidity. But it's kind of like how my marriages go. So.
Whoa! Yeah, we're getting real.
Yeah.
We're getting real.
This is my therapy. Anyway,
I don't know if I should hear this.
this movie was on all the time on HBO growing up, and I would watch it every single time I got a chance. It seemed overly violent for me to be watching at that young of an age, and I always thought, and this movie was rated PG. And there are moments in this movie, even watching it now, I'm like, how did this get a PG rating? But everything just, the violence stuck out to me when I was younger. The music, Harrison Ford looked like a badass in the hat and the jacket and the gloves. God, what's his name? John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, Gimli.
Yeah.
Gimli.
He was fantastic. He wasn't even in the movie that long, but he stuck out to me for some god-awful reason. I don't know. Bad dates. Oh, I love.
There's our impression for the episode.
Yes.
Boo! If you're playing ticket price bingo. Bad impression.
We will do a bad impression at least once. I wanted to be Indiana Jones when I was a kid.
No.
Oh, hell yes. So I was super excited to revisit
as a kid,
this.
you had access to HBO.
Yeah.
Aren't there boobies on HBO?
Yeah.
If you're watching Raiders?
I watched...
No.
And right after I finished watching Raiders, Revenge of the Nerds came on.
Ooh. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. We're not talking...
No.
A peek behind the camera, okay? We have agreed we're not going to talk about Revenge of the Nerds.
Nope,
And you
we're
brought
not.
it up. You
I
broke one of our very few rules.
We're not talking about the movie. I'm just saying that it came on HBO a lot.
Oh, man, you were one of the nerds. And you were peeping and creeping.
Not that bad. God.
If anyone out there is handy with a t-shirt press, if you could make a shirt that says peeping and creeping, I would pay handsomely for that. We need peeping and creeping. We need diabetes. We need pig or bear.
And we need suck face.
The merch is just building itself.
Got it. We got it.
Actually, God, what were we talking? I don't even know. You brought up an interesting thing, though. You brought up the violence, okay? Because I'm watching this movie, and I just thought, holy shit, this This movie is gory and violent as hell, especially the beginning.
Oh, with young Alfred Molina.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you got the one who gets killed by the tribespeople, all the darts in his back,
Right.
and you're like, okay, I mean, that's fine. PG-13, that one's fine.
It wasn't PG-13. This was PG.
What? Oh, PG.
Yeah.
Still fine.
Yeah, it was not bad.
When you see young Molina gets reveal that he didn't make it through the spike trap is gruesome, and that's as gruesome as it gets. And this is just the start. We're going to talk about all the gruesomeness, okay? This is 1981.
Right.
But I want to call back to episode 1 real quick.
Okay.
1980, a single year prior, The Shining is criticized for being overly violent.
Oh, yeah, this movie blows that out of the water.
If the critics that watched The Shining thought it was overly violent, then watched Raiders, we never heard their thoughts on the movie because they literally died in the theater. They saw this violence, heart attack, keeled over, done.
Right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Before he ran away from the tribesmen. Yeah.
They never saw the big guy get hit by the airplane blades.
That was so good.
What now? The obvious ending and the face melting and everything, or the lightning bolts burning through people chaining together.
The fight scene between him and the big Nazi in the airport.
We'll get there. That might be my favorite part in the movie. But okay, so we're already here. Let's just jump into it. So I'm watching this movie, and in my head, I know the Indy song. Like, everyone knows the theme to Indiana Jones.
Right.
If I were to try to recite it from memory right now, there's an 85% chance it will come out as the A-Team.
You're not wrong.
Like, I'm not kidding at all. If you miss a single note and you go too low, even a hair for Indiana, you're doing A-Team.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I know.
That's funny. I'd never even thought of that before.
So for this movie, my dad, I mentioned that Dad's with me, and my wife usually watches these. There's some she's dipped out on. We'll get into that. But she's like, "You're watching Indiana Jones?" I was like, "Yeah," and I started doing the theme, and she goes, "That's A-Team. What are you doing?" And then I informed her I was so incredibly aroused that she was able to recognize the A-Team theme. I had to pause the movie and tell Dad to go outside for a little bit.
So he came back about 3 minutes later and continued to watch the movie.
I'm not a marathon runner. Whoa, I'm not what is it, $2 million man here.
$6 million man?
I've heard both. I don't know what's right.
I think it's $6 million man.
His name is Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And,
not the wrestler.
Yeah, but the wrestler is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Austin, the greatest wrestler of all time.
Easily.
I'm going to say it.
Easily.
We'll get into that. Or we never will. This is a podcast show now.
Yeah, we're talking about Indiana Jones,
wrestling
and now we're all of a sudden...
But Steve, I love you. Everybody loves you. If you need, like, your truck washed or anything, you hit me up. I'll, yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I would do it too.
I was like, hey, you want to wash Stone Cold's truck? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get a beer for it.
And I would give him money.
Okay, so they're going through the traps. I said the fight scene was my favorite part. This part, to me, the opening, I'm like, I want Indiana Jones to be more of this. Actual creeping through an ancient forgotten temple. There's traps, there's treachery.
Grave robbing.
It's called archaeology. When you
have a degree?
When you have a degree in it, it stops being grave robbing.
Oh, I got
you. It starts being archaeology.
Okay.
And we don't know that was a grave.
Yeah.
We just know it was a temple. So if anything, they're stealing from a church more than likely.
Yeah, which is fine.
They get tax exempt.
Yeah.
Whatever. So many spiders.
So many spiders.
Wait, was that the deliriously funny bit?
I don't know.
When he turns around and the guy's back is just coated in spiders?
Either that or when they push that guy over the guide and he had those needles in his back. I mean, I was dying laughing when I saw that part.
Out of body experience.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The light, the trap that is released by him putting his hand in the light. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm with you.
How advanced was this ancient people?
Well, Indiana Jones 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull answers that.
No.
Aliens.
No.
Oh my
No.
God, we're an ancient aliens podcast.
We're not
now.
talking about
aliens.
We're not talking about Indy 4. No.
Was Indiana Jones actually an alien? My dad's gonna love this episode. So it's Indiana Jones, it's ancient alien. Dad, I would like to dedicate this episode to my father. I hope he's finally proud of me. I did it for you, Daddy.
Not if he listens to the whole episode.
Oh no, I'm just gonna play him clips.
So the light kind of sets up the entire movie, like even the end, because in the ending, the light's bad, obviously.
I feel like you're reaching here, but I'm still on board. But
But he mentions it multiple times. When he's talking to the FBI guys, he opens up the book and he's like, "Oh, the light coming out of the ark."
Yeah, but they literally describe that as the power of God.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is maybe the power of whatever God he was stealing from was protecting that with that light.
So are you saying that the Ark of the Covenant containing the original tablets that Moses brought down is a South American god? Or are you saying the South Americans were Christian/Jews?
No, I'm saying the South American God was protecting that artifact, not the Ark of the Covenant, but the actual artifact that he got first at the beginning.
So you're saying Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, in canon, confirms the existence of two separate light-based deities?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually taken back by how abrupt that answer was.
I don't know, it's interesting to me. Is it supernatural? I never understood that, like how the light would set off that trap.
I feel like we've gone down a rabbit hole.
Yes.
And there is no light here. Can I crawl back to the light?
Let's move on.
Okay, I love the idol, the pressure plate, the sand, all classic, all iconic. But then he gets robbed by
Belloc.
Belloc, thank you. Is Indiana Jones a loser? Like, does he fucking suck?
At the beginning of this movie, yes, because he gets betrayed twice
Yeah.
by both of the people that he hired.
Right.
And then he busts his ass to get this thing.
Yeah.
Almost dies by a giant boulder, but then loses it to Belloc
Because he got robbed.
because he got robbed.
But even their dialogue, this is not the first time
No.
Belloc has just robbed his ass.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to be robbed before you're like, okay, I should probably have a contingency plan for when Belloc shows up and tries to rob my ass?
Is Indiana Jones bad at his job?
Yes.
Okay. I'm taking aback how abrupt you were with that.
Well, actually, as we learn later on in the movie when we see one of his archaeological lectures, he is bad at his job.
Why? Because all the women want him?
No, because he's so boring.
No, he's not boring. Like, the women are just mesmerized by him.
They are not listening to a single word.
They
in
are
class.
taking so many serious notes, you don't even know.
Okay, is he bad at his job? Yes. I would like to think he's at least professional enough to not go for his students.
But he would go for a 15-year-old girl, which we later find out.
That is George Lucas's fault because George Lucas sucks.
That is true. Because that was the falling out that he had with Ravenwood, Professor Ravenwood.
Yeah, because
he was diddling his daughter at 15 years old.
And Indy's like, yeah, we had a falling out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I wonder. Asshole. Okay. But no, it just is Indy a loser. So we find out, like you said, U.S. government comes. They've uncovered that the Nazis are looking for the Ark. And I do like, as a person who loves history and all that, I dig this because, as we know, in real life, Hitler was super obsessed with the occult of all kinds. And so this actually played pretty true as far as establishing a grounded reality for this movie and its events.
Could you have ever replaced the Nazis as a villain in this movie with anybody else, with any other group, and it make it work?
Could other groups have filled the void and it work? Yes. Would it have worked as well? No, I don't think so. But that's because Nazis are such a softball, they lobbed it over the plate for an easy home run. Who do we want to root for? Whoever's fighting the Nazis.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. That's a little easy.
It is a little easy.
It's a little easy.
But I tell you, the interaction that they had, the exposition that Indy has to give to these FBI guys.
I hope Stanley Kubrick took notes.
Yes, because this is how you do exposition.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, and you're teaching the audience.
Why was Hitler looking for a Jewish artifact?
Because irony.
Okay, so Indy gets on the plane. I'm just going to move on.
Okay.
I have no segue for that. I just want to move on.
Great.
He's on the plane, and there's a Nazi on that plane. And I know he's a bad guy because he glares over the top of his magazine.
And the music.
Which is the most... It's the most... Glaring over the top of a magazine is the most evil thing you can do. The most obnoxious thing you can do is eat an apple. And the most evil thing is glare over a magazine.
Okay, I agree with that.
Well, how do you think of any movie ever? Oh, this guy's a dick.
'Cause
How do we portray that? Oh, when we meet him, he's chomping an apple like an asshole. And you're like, oh, I hate the apple guy.
So like Brad Pitt in every movie, because he's always eating.
Wait, is Brad Pitt the always eating guy? I
Yeah.
feel like there's a guy who's always eating.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Okay.
So now don't we meet Marion now?
Okay. I have to. For my girl, Shelley Duvall. Karen Allen acts every bit as good as Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Karen Allen's acting is straight atrocious. I was a girl. I was in love. Boom. Bad impression number 2.
Well, in all fairness,
She was a girl and she was in love.
when she was talking to Indy at that moment, she was probably pretty drunk from all the shots that she took.
She can handle her liquor.
I know. I don't know who's stronger. Is it Indiana Jones or her liver?
Well, it's not the. It's okay. The drinking contest. Man, woman, who's sitting across the table from Marion?
This is 2023.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't, but it does.
Yeah.
Not from the drinking contest. Who the hell is this person sitting across the table?
I still have no idea.
Because I always thought, because I've seen the scenes and whatever, and I remembered it, and I always thought that was just an older, grizzled lady, just like, oh yeah, the men are working. Yeah, well, they work like bitches. And she's going to go out there and she's going to mine that coal and she's going to cut those trees down herself, and show everybody what's up. And then she's going to go to the tavern and she's going to drink and she's going to fight. But I had subtitles on and it was like man grunts. And I'm like, man?
You watched this with subtitles?
I have small kids at home. Subtitles are on 24/7 whether we need them or not.
Okay, that's fair.
But you do learn interesting things like man grunts.
Yeah.
I go, wait a minute,
Okay, man grunts.
And I'm like, what? You're right though. 2023 doesn't matter, but it kind of does. Actually, real talk. I hope it's a woman sitting across from. So what you have are two badass females slamming shots. I don't know.
That would be way better.
I think that instead of one woman beating a man, which I get.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's what it is.
Making her look more of a badass.
But no, I just want to see the two just badass women just like, oh no, this is a men's game? Not anymore.
Yeah. How many shots were there? How many shots did they do?
I didn't count, but several.
Yeah.
I was a girl. I was in love. I hate Marion, by the way. I hate Marion. We start to get more into like the fight scenes, the fist fight scenes, and whatever. And holy shit, these are rough. These fight scenes look bad.
Like awesome bad, like badass, or
no, like okay. Remember you were making fun of me for Gunsmoke references in The Thing when the captain breaks out the window, like
oh yeah,
like he's shooting out a window in Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
These fight scenes are Gunsmoke fist fights.
Oh no.
They're so bad. The choreography is bad. The stage fighting is bad. It's so bad.
I have to disagree.
I'm sure you do.
I have to disagree.
Please disagree.
The sounds that the punches give are so good. So they feel impactful.
Stay tuned for episode, what are we on, 4? When we do Gunsmoke.
We're doing Gunsmoke?
We're just fight scenes. and shootouts. I'm going to be like, look, Gunsmoke.
The gun sounds in this movie are so amazing. Oh my God, they're so powerful.
No, they're not.
Oh, God.
This movie is not good.
Oh.
It is aged poorly. Okay. Fight scene's rough. Okay, and you're talking about gunshots and everything. Does Indiana Jones murder a street performer?
Yes.
They're in Egypt, and the bad guys chase, and he's trying to find Marion or whatever. And then, like, there's a big crowd, and the crowd parts, and there's just a guy I don't recall seeing up to this point with a sword. He's like, look at these cool sword moves I can do. Please put money in the hat placed at my feet. Right?
There was no hat. Was it McCready's hat?
Oh, Jesus. If it was, it wasn't going to hold any money because that hat can't do anything. Wardrobe bad. There's another callback. If you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to John Carpenter's The Thing, episode 2, if you haven't already.
Oh, shit.
But no, are we just to assume he's a bad guy because he's wearing like a black outfit, like black clothes? Like what?
Bad guys always wear black.
and leer over magazines and eat apples.
Exactly.
No, Indiana Jones is just like, fuck that guy. Bam. I'm like, you just shot us some dude. How do we know he was a bad guy?
Well, you see, there was a whole fight that got...
If that's what you want to call it.
that got cut out because he was sick.
Who was sick?
Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the street performer.
No.
Okay.
The street performer was fine.
Yeah.
Until Indy shot him, but for trying to show off.
Until the murder.
Like, what? I don't want to see you juggle. Bam.
No, I think that guy, he got up and he was like, Mom, there's a crowd outside. She's like, please, son, leave the sword at home. It's a Johnny Cash song. He's just, leave the sword at home, son. And he was like, no, I can make money with my art, with my craft. I can show you I can do this. And then he was like, look, everyone, please deposit money in the nearby hat at my feet. And then some asshole American's like, I have a gun. Bam. That's why people hate Americans. We just shoot people for no reason.
You think his mother was in the audience when he did
Yeah, I do. And the worst part is, what we don't know is that guy's father, also a street performer, who our street performer inherited the sword from, died in almost the exact same way. An American showed up mid-performance, shot his ass. I think there were less Nazis when the dad died, but I'm not going to say there were no Nazis when the dad died.
Man, you think the kid would learn.
Well, his mom warned him, don't do it, son. Get a job. Don't be a goddamn street performer. And he was like, no, Mom, I can do it. Bam.
So what's worse? Is it worse that Indiana Jones murders this street performer for juggling this sword, or that Indiana Jones murders the truck driver who is just trying to get paid? He's driving this truck that supposedly Marion is in the back of, because Indiana Jones just straight up shoots him in the head.
Well, yeah, but that guy was a Nazi.
It was not a Nazi. It was one of the guys in the white.
Oh, yeah, but we saw those guys
But he was just truck
at
driving.
the meeting with Assassins.
We don't know which one it was. He was just driving the truck.
Wait, are you just saying they all look alike? Racist.
Damn! Never mind. Cut.
No, please
Cut.
continue.
No, and so let's talk about the stupid monkey.
Okay, we were talking before that apparently George Lucas loves irony, right?
Right.
Because we were like, why did that happen? You were like, irony. The assassin assassinates his own monkey. Also, fuck that monkey, that double agent ass monkey. I haven't seen a monkey act that well since the goddamn Hangover. What was it, part 3?
I don't know. I quit watching The Hangover after the first one.
No, part 2. Part 2 has
I
the
stopped
monkey.
the first one. I hate it when movies have monkeys like that in them. Like, even
Because they're treacherous little bastards.
Yes, but even like when Friends did it, they had Marcel. I'm like, no,
The
no.
Ross Monkey era was a dark era.
It was
for
terrible.
Friends.
And that's what I think of every time I see that. Watch the Friends episodes with the monkey. I'm like, oh god, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the assassin kills his own freaking monkey because
Irony,
I guess. I don't know.
bad dates.
But it's
fucking
I
Gimli.
hate that monkey.
Actually, I will give this movie credit. The whole thing about the Nazis getting part of the headpiece of the Staff of Ra because it's burned on the guy's hand, that's actually really cool. That's a cool piece of story and writing. I really enjoyed that. But I want to point this out. As we discover, they didn't get the back, which
Right.
means once you make it whatever the length is, then you subtract however much, and
Correct.
that's the real height of the staff. Yeah, they were digging so indiscriminately that the true dig site being 50 yards away from their works, they were gonna find that.
Yeah, eventually it kept going.
And also, okay, Marion is in with Balak. Nutsack, what's his name? The Frenchman. Ballsack.
Was he in with the Balrog? Was she in with the Balrog?
Fucking
We
Gimli.
got Gimli, we got the Balrog.
No, yeah, but she's in with Balak. Balak. How do you
Belloc!
Balak. Goddamn
It's
Frenchman.
or as John Rhys Davies says, Baloche.
Balosh. She's in with Balosh, and he's like, here, wear this weird wedding gown and let me creep on you.
What is up with that?
That is so out of left field.
Cringe?
It's cringe. It's like,
Yeah.
why? Why is this? You could have had that whole interaction and scene play out the exact same without whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I don't know if that was their way of trying to show us, the audience, that he is interested in her. Where did he get it? Where did he get the dress?
Remember, he's like, when you have connections, you can get things like this in Egypt.
But why? Because did he know he was going to have a kidnapped woman?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Why does he just have this dress that just so happens to be her exact size?
It's probably also his exact size. I'm just saying.
Hey, it's 2023.
Hey,
It doesn't matter.
do whatever you want. I don't care.
But no, I have a note on that because I'm just like, oh god, why? It's so meaningless.
There's a portion of this movie that really drags, and it's after Marion supposedly dies, up until the moment that he gets thrown into the Well of Souls, or she gets thrown into the Well of Souls with him.
Yeah, I'd agree with
That part of that movie really, really slows.
Okay, they're in the Well of Souls. They're escaping. He knocks the big column over. They break through the wall.
That whole part.
Why are the skeletons screaming and like reaching out for her? Are they just Are they skeletons? Are they undead? Did they awaken some ancient buried evil? Why are the skeletons screaming at her?
I took away from that as they're not actually doing that. That's what she's perceiving them as. She's so terrified that it's in her mind. But that's just me reaching.
Are there any other terrible moments of this movie that you want to just make your own, explanation for? Like fight scenes?
I did about the reason he has the Baloche has the dress.
Ballsack.
Ballsack. Why Ballsack has the dress?
Belloc.
We'll get it. We'll get it before the end.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. But I also love this movie.
God. Okay. So they escape. We actually get the cool truck scene. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, you can't just blow over the truck scene.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. Because you're blowing over the truck scene. You're blowing over the helicopter fight.
Oh, okay. That's
Because the helicopter fight comes after the Well of Souls.
Yeah.
And then the truck scene.
Okay.
And from the moment they exit the Well of Souls, this movie rolls. I mean, it goes.
I'll give you that. Finally. Jesus. Maybe Stanley Kubrick can't learn all that much from this movie.
The helicopter fight,
I like that fight.
that moment, it's so tense. They're building so much tension from...
Wait, you got tense during this?
Oh, God, yeah. Like, the pilot, is he going to shoot him? And then she finally knocks out the pilot, but then he makes the plane spin, and then it knocks off the gas thing, and the gas is going everywhere. And then all the soldiers show up, and she's just mowing them down, and then the fire, and it's like, oh my God, what are they going to do?
Were we watching the same movie? Most of that is played for laughs.
Yeah, but it's just building up, like the tension of what are they going to do? Are they going to be able to get out?
Tension isn't building while I'm also laughing.
You were laughing at the...
No, I'm just using these words to create a word picture, because I wasn't laughing, I wasn't tense. I was sitting there going, why the hell is this movie still going? And my dad's like, you're not enjoying this? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
It was so good.
But he knocks out... But no, I do enjoy. So Indy knocks out the one guard, is going for the pilot when the biggest man shows up. Goddamn Brock Lesnar shows up. And it's like, hey... And then he takes his shirt off, and you're like, "That is a big dude." And he assumes the pugilist stance.
Yes.
And Indy's a brawler.
Yes,
right?
he
He's
is.
a scrapper. His opponent has got about 100 pounds on him, 2 feet in height, and knows how to box. And beats his ass.
The first punch busts his lip and knocks him on his ass. And he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but okay, remember, so the guy, the big guy yells something in German. Indy turns around, sees him, and the guy's got his fists up and he's gesturing like, come on and get some. Indy knows what he has to do, but he like sighs and he's tired. He's like, oh, and then he's like, hold on, dude, I'm coming. Just hold on. And it's deliriously funny, I guess.
There was a tad bit of humor in there, and especially now, to me, knowing what kind of action heroes we were going to get in the 80s. Because if this was Arnold or Stallone, they wouldn't have had that type of fight with anybody. They would have just completely destroyed them and been bulletproof and, sewed up their wounds with fucking branches, or whatever. I don't know.
Sewed up their wounds with branches.
Yes. Because Rambo, he just with a hot knife and seals up every wound he's ever gotten.
A lumberyard just sewing up the wounds. But no, I did appreciate this part a lot. But okay, I will give you. You are correct. I will give you and this movie credit in that you're right. Any of the other big action movies, we wouldn't have gotten a fight scene like this, and that does make me appreciate it more. There was no tension in it. I'm like, there's gonna be the shit, and it's gonna explode, and there's gonna be the stuff and the things, and I don't care.
But when Indy gets the big guy gets chopped up by the blades, and Indy also, rescues Marion.
A year ago, Scatman Carruthers takes an axe, and people are like, this movie's so violent. It's off screen, but you know what's not off screen? The blood spray, and we're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, he was disintegrated.
Yeah.
Scatman had an axe in his chest. This guy is no longer on this planet.
Well, bits of him.
He's a mist.
There's no barrier.
He's a mist. But they escape, and then that music hits. Oh my God! With all the explosions as they're running across the
A-Team theme.
Yes, the A-Team theme. A-Team theme? I can't say that.
A-Team theme. My name's David. I like the A-Team theme.
Is that a mockingbird?
Don't bring up the Mockingbird meme again. Let it die. I enjoyed it once. We had a chuckle. Just let it go. Just let it go. Okay, so I'm going to let you talk about the truck scene. I thought it went on long. I appreciated it up until I stopped appreciating it because it just didn't end.
Right before the truck scene.
How are we?
Right before the truck scene.
Talk about the truck scene.
This leads up to the truck scene.
That's what you said about the last thing.
There is a camera shot that I love every time I see it. You see Sala come running across, and then you hear Indy go, Sala, Sala. And he stops, and he turns, and he looks towards the camera. And then the camera backs up into the tent, and then you just see their silhouettes talking back and forth. I love that shot. That is so cool. Anyway, I just had to show my appreciation for that shot.
Sure.
And then...
that shot was so amazing. I don't even remember what you're talking about.
I know. Nobody does. It's such a cool shot to me. I think it's such a cool shot.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Indiana Jones gets on his horse and he takes off after.
And why does he get on a horse? I don't.
Why wouldn't he?
Because you've got trucks everywhere. Get in a car.
Yeah, but he can move in and out of the trucks a lot easier on
That's
a
what
horse.
They said John Wick. It didn't work then either.
I've never seen it.
God, we'll get into that later.
We'll definitely do John Wick. I want to do John Wick. What the fuck are we talking about?
We're talking about the goddamn truck scene so I can go home. I don't want to talk about the truck scene anymore. I don't even care.
How awesome was him being dragged underneath that truck? No, nothing?
Well, okay. And we, sure. Yeah, sure. It was, this movie has cool moments. Sure. I'll give it, sure. It just happens in the middle of a very long sequence.
And he's being dragged behind this truck. Harrison Ford did the stunts, some of the stunts.
I can appreciate that.
So, but I want to know, how heavy was he after he got done? Like, how many rocks were loaded up into his pants?
Wait, are you saying Indy should have just been de-pants somewhere along the way?
I'm just saying he was probably like a shovel.
I'm surprised. So he uses his whip and he's being drugged behind.
Yes.
How did he not bite his own damn tongue off?
Because he kept it in his mouth. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you see it in Westerns all the time where you hear the story, someone's getting, drugged by a horse. The bad guy lassos him. In Gunsmoke.
Yeah, because, gotta
Gunsmoke, they lasso the guy and drag him, and a common wound of being subject to that is you bite your tongue.
Why?
Because your face is going, it sounds like on Golden Pond, but with more teeth. I told you to come back.
God, I cannot get away from On Golden Pond.
You brought
I know, and I even wrote it in my notes. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Listen to those instincts. Like getting past the truck scene. So, okay, I do want to skip ahead.
Okay.
Truck scene. The locals help for reasons because F the Nazis. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Marion gets taken by the Nazis again when they're on the ship and gets moved to a U-boat.
Right, because Mr. Katanga. I love that name.
It's solid.
I'm going to buy a dog, and I'm going to call him Mr. Katanga.
Yeah, but then you'd have to try to take care of someone other than yourself, and I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that won't happen.
So then, Indy, not Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, sneaks off that ship, swims over to the U-boat, and then hides on top of the U-boat while they sail to whatever secret island.
Right.
And I guess Indy is the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet that they didn't submerge.
There was actually a deleted scene that they show that he's holding on to the periscope, and they're submerged, but the periscope is still up.
So what happens if they lower periscope?
Then we don't have a movie.
Is India losing it?
No.
It remains to be seen. I've got something for you later on. They get to the island. But Harrison Ford's already in the base. And he's knocking out the guards to steal the uniform.
Who is?
Oh, excuse me.
Indiana Jones. Okay, yeah. You confused me for a
Han
moment.
Solo.
Son of a
president
bitch.
of the United States in that
Air Force One.
Air Force One.
Jack Ryan was on that island. Oh my God. This is the greatest cameo.
This is the greatest crossover in cinema history. But no, he's knocked out the guard and he's trying to put the uniform on.
Right.
I will say him knocking out the guard and he's like, all right, I got this. It's going to be super cool. And then it's way too small. I chuckled at that. That's funny. But how in the holy hell did he outswim a U-boat?
He didn't outswim it. He held on.
No, you see him behind the crates in the facility.
I see.
As the U-boat pulls into dock.
I see what you're talking about.
How does he outswim a U-boat?
God.
Wait a minute. God propelled him.
Yes.
And for our next miracle, God will compel a grave robber through the water at speeds man were never meant to travel with his physical form.
Maybe the mariner from Waterworld was helping him.
We're not talking about Waterworld. We're not talking about Waterworld. It's on my veto list. I'm not talking about Waterworld. I don't care how much you like it. I'm not going to do it. There's no way. But no, I had to break that up because I was like, wait a minute. How the fuck did he get on there before the U-boat?
He was a swimmer in college.
You mean the college he taught at? Like
yeah.
He was a professor and swimmer?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the head of the swim team. The female swim team.
George Lucas sucks. I really want to skip ahead to the face melting.
Let's do it.
Okay. Don't look at it, Marion. Nazis open it. Ballsack opens it. Everyone dies except the people looking at it. It has Passover remnants.
Except the people not looking at it.
That's what I said. Except
No. I got you. I knew what you meant.
Wait.
You were stumbling over Ballsack.
Well, I am at a certain age. Gravity's a bitch. I don't know what my physical form has to. I don't know why my body is involved in. I will not be body shamed, sir. On my own podcast.
You gotta tie it in a knot.
Throw it over my shoulder
like Santa Claus. Oh, that's a terrible present for the kids.
And it's weird. And now you made it weird.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for making everything weird. We're already a foot and a half apart sharing a microphone. Making Goldie Hawn on Golden... I got it confused with that other movie with Kurt Russell. We're already making Hepburn mouth noises. It's like the third time I've done that since we've talked about this. But the face melting, head explodes, Does it look dated? Yes, but it still works. It's fine.
This movie's PG.
This movie's
PG.
Scatman took an axe, overly violent. We watched people's faces melt and heads explode. Totally fine. Bring your kids, bring your grandkids, babies. It's totally fine.
Totally fine.
So now we're at the part I've been looking forward to for this episode. And I'm gonna preface. I have two questions.
Okay.
The first one I just want to ask again, is Indiana Jones a loser? Before you answer, second question. Name one thing Indiana Jones does in this movie that actually changes the outcome of this movie. As in, what is something that his interference in the Nazi plan, what does he do to interfere with their plan that changes this outcome?
So the Big Bang Theory.
What?
This is the Big Bang Theory.
What?
There was an episode.
Are you having a stroke?
Yes, I'm having. The side of my face is starting to sag.
I have seen 3 episodes. Bazinga!
Bazinga, yeah.
Do the kids still say bazinga?
I don't think they ever did.
Oh, okay. I feel that shirt lies to me then.
That
I saw
was
a shirt at The Hot Topic.
The Hot Topic.
At The Hot Topic, it said bazinga.
What's the other one? The Spencers? The Spencers. No, there was an episode of The Big Bang Theory that asked that question, and all the characters on there were like, "Oh my God, no, we got to watch it," and blah 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 blah.
Well, to hell with you, Hugh Laurie. Chuck Laurie.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie was House. Yeah, Chuck
and
Laurie.
He was also one of Cruella de Vil's henchmen.
Oh my God, he was.
In 101 Dalmatians.
He was.
And I will not let anyone forget that. That is a classic.
I totally forgot about that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm treading old ground here.
Okay.
What the hell does he do? I guess he stopped it. No, he didn't stop it for. What does he need? What is the point of this movie?
They would not. He led them to Marion, actually, because without him going to find the headpiece, none of this would have ever happened.
So you don't think with the Nazis' extensive digging efforts, they wouldn't have come across this at some point?
Possibly, but the only reason they were able to dig in the spot that they were digging was because. Was it Tout? Is that how you pronounce it? The guy...
I can't pronounce Bollock.
You still... Belloc.
Why is it spelled with an A?
Anyway, Ronald Lacey. He led them to Marion, and Marion had the headpiece. So that's when...
So Indy inadvertently helped the Nazis?
Kind
So
of.
if he had never gotten involved, the Nazis wouldn't have even gotten as far as they did.
Possibly.
What is the point of this movie?
I think it's Indy's a loser.
Is Indiana Jones a loser? I think he is. He can't fist fight giants. He can't outswim U-boats, though. So that's
that's a plus.
to his
That's a
minus.
plus.
He diddles 15-year-olds. Not cool. He probably diddles his own college students. Not cool.
He's a grave robber.
He's a grave archaeologist.
Yes.
He has a degree.
That's when you have a degree. It's fine.
And then his own bumbling incompetence aided the Nazis.
Yeah, that's spot on.
What is... I hate this movie. I hate it.
So, are you saying it's not worth the price of a ticket?
Are we there?
I don't know. You think we should be there?
I think we should have been there 2 truck conversations ago. Okay, you know what? I'll dive into this. Is it good, overrated, underrated? Is it bad? Is it worth the ticket price? I think this movie is grossly overrated. I think it is a child of its time. And I think it should stay in its time. I don't think the humor works. The fights don't work. The story is pointless. Indy is a loser. Marion is insufferable. And not even just the acting, the character. Indy! Save me! Indy! The character is insufferable. This movie sucks. It's so bad. And people say this is the best one. And God, I hope I don't pull any more Indiana Jones movies out of our hat of movies. Because this is so bad.
I don't think this is the best one. I do love this movie. I think it's right where it needs to be. It's not overrated. It's not underrated. It's right where it needs to be. Everything about this movie, with the exception of that little snippet in the middle, is outstanding. The music is... Oh my God, the music is so good.
I was waiting for a van to crash through and actual heroes with guns light people up, but continue.
Oh, was it B.A. Baracus?
Yeah.
Was that his
T.
name? Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember his...
B.A. stands for badass.
Well, yeah. I mean, 100%. Did you ever see the A-Team movie?
Yeah, also super good. I hope we talk about it.
We will. I actually have it somewhere in that stack of shit over there.
Oh, there's some real shit over there.
There's some good freaking stuff over there. Don't be knocking my movie collection.
The hills have eyes.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. We're talking about Indy still for some reason.
Harrison Ford just nails this whole role. And Marion, Karen Allen was fine. She was fine.
Do my giggle.
The comedy does work for me. It's not over the top comedy. It's just the right amount of funny. The fight scenes are great. The sounds are great. The gunshots are great.
I have to question. Is this nostalgia talking? Did you watch this with the open mind you were supposed to?
I got notes. My book is open.
Yeah, you got notes about Golden Pond.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not nostalgia. That's a nightmare.
You criticized a single thing in this
I did. I criticized the whole middle part, like after she apparently died, and then the dumb monkey. And
okay, fair. You didn't criticize enough about this trash. Straight trash.
So no, I would definitely buy a ticket to this. This is definitely worth the price.
And like when you go to movies now, you'd be seeing it alone. Because I will not be joining you on this one. I would sit through Shining. I would sit through The Thing. 100%. Not this piece of crap.
Can't wait till we do the Temple of Doom.
Oh, God. Is that the best one or is that the worst one?
No, that's definitely not the worst one.
Is it Alien Skull?
Yeah, that one's terrible. I think the best one is Last Crusade.
That's the one with Sean Connery.
Right.
Junior.
Right. Yeah. Whoa.
Junior.
Jesus.
There we go.
Didn't he? Where's he at?
Mr. Connery.
Connery's in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, if I keep doing it, I'm going to keep I'm gonna enunciate it too hard and just Junior. It just gets Junior.
You're gonna sound like Cartman from South Park.
Can I please back home? I want to go home and forget I watched this movie. I want to forget all this happened.
Okay.
Any closing thoughts? I'm afraid to ask. Any closing thoughts?
Yes.
Oh no.
Just Harrison Ford, man. He is. I love Harrison Ford. You know, the actors that pass away, a lot of people are, oh my God, I loved him so much. And, you know, you don't know these people. But when Robin Williams passed away, that one hit me really hard. When Harrison Ford passes away, that one is going to hit me hard. Because, man, I loved him all through my childhood.
Real downer, by the way.
I know.
Anything else? I have no thoughts. I've shared my thoughts. I have no thoughts.
So, moving on to the next episode.
Okay, and we had talked about this. I brought our hat full of movies. Tavis, sir, please draw a movie from our hat. Give everyone a heads up of what we're covering next week.
How'd you get all these Blu-rays in here? It's a big-ass hat.
I hate that joke. T-shirt. I hate that joke. That needs to be on there.
That's going to be a...
Just pick a name from the hat. Junior.
Okay, I got it.
Give him hell, Indiana.
Here we go. Oh. We are going to do 2009 Avatar. James Cameron Avatar, not Avatar.
The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender.
Well, luckily, I think that was just The Last Airbender.
Was it? I don't know.
Well,
I think you're right.
The show is Avatar: The Last Airbender, but the movie they were like, we can't call it Avatar.
That's
the
right.
highest grossing movie of all time or whatever at the time. Interesting. So, if you want to hear us just talk about Avatar and whatever else we end on Golden Pond.
No more on Golden Pond.
All right, everyone. I am Jake. This is Tevis. We are Ticket Price. That was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Tune in next week for Avatar. Peace.
We're going to suck face.